Recently, you guys have probably heard about Trump talking about Greenland again, but this time it's not just a random tweet or a passing comment at a rally. It's January 2026, and the White House just officially stated that acquiring Greenland is a national security priority. They even said the military is an option. People are calling it the Donoro Doctrine, a 21st century twist on the old idea that the US should dominate its entire hemisphere. But why? Why is the world's most powerful nation so obsessed with the giant ice-covered island of 56,000 people? It's not just real estate. It's about a new ocean, a mineral gold mine, and a door that is finally being unlocked. For thousands of years, the Arctic was a wall. You couldn't sail through it. But as the ice melts at a record speed, we are witnessing the birth of a new ocean. Look at this. To get from China to Europe, ships usually go through the Suez Canal. It's slow and it's bottleneck. But the Northwest Passage, which runs right past Greenland, would cut that trip by 40%. Greenland is no longer at the edge of the map. It's becoming the gas station and the toll booth for the most important shipping route of the next century. If you control Greenland, you control the Arctic Highway. But there is a second reason for the obsession. The stuff under the ground. We are in the middle of a global green energy transition. To build EVs and wind turbines, you need rare earth minerals. Right now, China controls about 90% of that supply. They have a total monopoly, except Greenland is sitting on one of the largest untapped deposits of these minerals on Earth. The US doesn't just want to buy Greenland. They want to make sure China never gets to touch those mines. It's a resource war disguised as a real estate deal. Here is where it gets tense. In 2025 and early 2026, the rhetoric shifted. The US even floated the idea of giving direct cash payment up to $1 lakh to every single citizen in Greenland to convince them to break away from Denmark. If the US tries to take Greenland the hard way, they won't just be fighting Denmark. They will be taking on the entire European continent. Denmark has already issued a shoot first order to its troops. But more importantly, the UK, France and Germany have just released a joint statement. They have said that Greenland belongs to its people. For these countries, this is a red line. If the US can just seize a territory from a fellow NATO member, then no border in Europe is safe. They would likely respond with a massive economic sanctions, freezing US assets and potentially even cutting off the US from European military bases. This is the big one. Experts are saying a US invasion of Greenland would be the instant death of NATO. Think about it. NATO's entire purpose is Article 5. The idea that if one member is attacked, everyone defends them. If the US, the leader of NATO, is the one doing the attacking, the alliance becomes a joke. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen of Denmark put it bluntly. If the US attacks a NATO ally, everything stops. We wouldn't just be looking at a local conflict. We'd be looking at a total collapse of the Western security system that has kept the peace since 1945. So would there be a full-scale war? Honestly, a direct military battle between the US and Europe is unlikely because the US military is so much larger. But we would see a new Cold War. While the West fights itself, Russia and China would be the biggest winners. They are already watching from the sidelines, waiting for NATO to fracture so they can move into the Arctic themselves. Russia has the icebreakers and China has the money. If the US alienates its ally over Greenland, it might find itself completely alone in a very cold, very dangerous neighborhood. The Greenland people, they don't want to be bought like a piece of property. They have spent decades fighting for their own identity and they are not about to trade it for a check from Washington. For them, this isn't about being bought, it's about independence. They have been a colony or territory of Denmark for 300 years. Now, for the first time, they have massive leverage. They are watching the US, China and Europe all fight over them, and they are realizing that their ice is worth more than gold. Their strategy? Nothing about us without us. They aren't looking for a new master. They are looking for a way to finally be free.